Hello, it's Kenisha Cersei here with Chris Jenkins of the Buffalo Bills. His position is Director of Media Public Relations.
Yep.
Okay. And he's been with the Bills for 9 years. So, Chris, we're just going to jump right into the first question. What is the most important skills and attributes that a candidate in your position needs to be successful?
Sure. The number two most important things are to be able to, communicate and just to interact with people and to help, be the bridge between the media and, in our case, the fans, and the team, the personnel, the players, and to make sure our message gets out there accurately and how we want to the fans. So,
Okay.
but you got to be able to communicate, you got to be able to write, and especially now with social media, all those types of things. They all play a part in it in terms of public speaking and writing and things of that nature.
All right. What would be a typical work day in your
Workday
position?
for us is usually our days start pretty early. We're monitoring all the media websites, so we have clips that we put together and forward those to all the people in the organization. And then there's NFL mandated times where we need to have the media in the open locker room so they could talk to the players and our coaches and things like that. So we monitor those. Then we come back in our office, do a lot of paperwork in terms of press releases, looking up game notes, stats, taking in interview requests, and then organizing those for our players.
For game day Sundays, how is your position?
The day structure?
Yeah.
Sure. Our game day start pretty early. If it's a 1 o'clock start, we're here by 8:30, 9.
Oh, wow.
We're setting up the press box. Media starts coming in 9:30 to try to beat the traffic, so we just have our TVs on. All the materials out there, game day folders, game notes, things like that. And as we get closer to the kickoff, there are times we'll put out starting lineups, we'll put out inactives, different information if guys are hurt, explain that they're not going to be playing, get with our stats crew and all those things. And then during the game, we're looking at game notes, players who are coming up on breaking Bills records, NFL records, accomplishments, major accomplishments, getting that out to the media. And then post game, what we'll do is we'll go in the open locker room, monitor obviously things that go there, help give our players some advice on things to say, win or lose, and go from there.
What is the organization structure of your department?
Our department, there's 4 of us who are full-time. We have a senior vice president of communications. I am the director underneath him, and then we also have an assistant director and an assistant, and then we have a full-time intern who helps us out throughout the year. So.
Okay. With your position, of course, you're able to hire interns.
Yes.
So with that part, what are your expectations for a new employee who you're taking in as an intern for the first 90 days and then on to 6 months?
The first 90 days, you always want the person to just come in here and work hard. So you want them to do what they need to do to be successful in their job, which is showing up on time, staying late if needed, really learning about the organization, our structure, and just kind of being a sponge, soaking up all that information. And then as you move forward in the internship process, we want you to be a part of our department and help us, give us feedback on what we're doing. Especially what I always love about, especially interns, is they are younger and they look at it from a different perspective. I've been here 9 years, so obviously there's certain things I'm just going to do like that because we've always done them. But maybe it's 2013. Maybe we shouldn't do it like that. Maybe we should do it a different way. So to get that
innovative
feedback,
ways.
Exactly, in a constructive manner. I don't, 2 minutes before we do a major press conference, we don't need the intern coming in and saying, "I think we should do it this way."
Oh yeah.
But when we do have our department meetings and we sit down, we do ask for their input, lunch or whatever. I want you to give you feedback because that's part of the job. You're ultimately you're going to be in that position where you're going to have to give advice to someone. And in our case, we give it to the players, our assistant coaches, and my boss's case, he works for our president GM. They go to him for counsel and advice.
Really big.
So you have to be able to do that. Not only have the knowledge, but to be able to put it out there and to communicate it effectively. So we can put our best foot forward.
But no interns that are just for the love of football.
No, not for the love of football. No, we got enough people who love football. This is for the love of PR and the love of communications. That's what we're looking for. The most talented and smartest people, not the biggest football fans.
Okay. I mean, why? Why is that?
Because it's at the end of the day, it is a sport and it is entertainment, but it's also a business. So, the NFL is it's probably the most popular entertainment entity. Not only the most popular sport in the country, but as a brand, as an entertainment option. I mean, you look at movies, you look at music. I mean, the NFL. I mean, produces
A lot of
a
revenue.
lot of revenue.
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking for, the most talented PR people.
Mhm.
We're looking for the most talented marketing people, the most talented business development people, independent of whether they're into sports or not. Obviously, naturally,
Right.
with the nature of this business, they're going to be sports fans
Of
anyway.
course.
But when you come in and say, "Hey, I'm a big Bills fan," that's not going
That's why I want this
that's not
job.
going to get that's not going to get you in the door. That's not going to get you in the door. We need people who are talented, who work in their craft, and can bring something to the table to help the
That's
Bills as a
respectful.
business.
Right.
Not necessarily. We don't need another fan.
So what is your vision for your organization and your department for the next 2 years and on to the next 5 years?
Our president, when he was named president at the beginning of 2013, set out a mandate that we want to be a forward-thinking, aggressive organization, and I think that's filtered down throughout the whole building. It started with the hiring of our head coach, the hiring of our GM, and with our department, there's a lot of different tools that we could utilize to publicize the Bills, especially now with social media, things like that. So I think getting a grasp of that, especially over the next 2 years, and developing a game plan to help effectively market and publicize the team using all those tools is going to be crucial for us moving forward. And then, in the 5 years, long term, it's just it's the same thing. We want to just keep the Buffalo Bills as one of the preeminent franchises in the National Football League. When the Buffalo Bills are winning, there's not a better place in the NFL. I mean, people talk about Green Bay. Some of these other, I mean, when the Bills are winning, that stadium across the way is rocking.
Oh yeah.
And
even after the games,
exactly,
it's still rocking.
Exactly. And there's very few places in the NFL that passion. You really see that passion.
They have a lot of loyal fans. A lot of loyal fans.
Exactly. So we want to keep that going. We want to keep that tradition going. We want to keep that legacy going. And that's our number one goal.
Okay, being the director of media relations, what is your biggest challenge currently?
Our biggest challenge is just going through the ebbs and flows of the season. When the team wins, everything's great, and every outlet wants to interview your players, so you kind of have to make some tough choices because they only have so much time. And when the team loses, everything is terrible. Everyone should be fired. Everyone should be benched. So you kind of keep everyone calm on our side of things. When they're dealing with the media, you never want anything to be contentious. They're just doing their job. Our job is to coach our guys and to help our players, get through those times, give the proper answers, move on. You don't want it to be a bigger story than it is. And there are times we'll have to talk to a media guy too, as well, as if he's not treating the guys with the respect or that's expected of his industry. We got to let them know too.
Because they could be a bit pushy.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So that you all can step in and actually
Yeah, because you never want anything to be an issue. Then it's on Sports Center.
Yeah, that can make a big story.
Exactly. So it's just playing both sides of the fence there, just trying to keep everything within reason and moving forward.
Have you ever had a big story that you've done that just had set you over the top, that many people came to you and they enjoyed it and you got so much recognition for it?
There's a couple of things, I guess. The first thing that comes to mind is that's a good question, actually.
Got it.
There was one. I guess earlier in my career when J.P. Lossman was our quarterback, and obviously he was pretty popular. This was early in his career when he was still kind of figuring his way. But what he did was he planned this whole community cleanup project right before the season. And the thing about Buffalo is people love this city. They love the Bills, but they really love this city. Right. And when our players really get in and do good works and really embrace the city. He lived downtown, organized a city cleanup, had a concert, threw lunch, had hundreds of volunteers. Really, I mean, he got a great response from it, but that was really fulfilling for me personally because I helped him not only pitch the stories to help get publicity, to get people out there volunteering, but I was out there cleaning the streets just along with him, so that was fun. And then my second one would be, and obviously people have seen it this week with the return of Brian Moorman, his evolution through the early part when he was here, going to Roswell every week. He was named Pro Football Weekly's Man of the Year. He was named the Walter Payton Man of the Year for the Bills for a number of years. He won a number of not only local awards but national awards for his good works and also obviously his talent on the field. So when you have a guy like that, I mean, how many 8 jerseys? You guys are all Bills fans. How many 8 jerseys do you see out there in the stadium? You go to other stadiums. How many punters do you see fans wearing their jerseys?
Oh, yeah.
So it's just, I mean, Brian does all the work, and him and his wife and their family gets
That's
all the
great.
credit. But just for us to do our small part to help
Mhm.
publicize him and do it through the Bills platform has been very rewarding.
Last question, before I let you go. What metrics are used to measure whether you're achieving your predetermined goals in your position?
Our hardest thing with PR is the numbers. You know, they're hard to get in terms of measurements. Again, business development has money, marketing, you're selling tickets and things of that nature, selling jerseys. For PR, we're not really selling a product, so to speak. We're just helping with the messaging and trying to help communicate to the fans. So, you know, we kind of base our judgments based on the feedback we get from our executives, and are they happy with the messaging that we're putting out there?
Right.
Are we communicating effectively to the fans? And you know, kind of when they're happy and the fans are happy and the team's winning, then you know we're doing good in PR. If the team's not winning and we're having trouble in certain places, then maybe the PR isn't as good. So, but we always look at ourselves and evaluate ourselves. But whether we're winning or losing, we're always out there trying to do the best for the Bills' name, Mr. Wilson's name, the organization.
Of course.
And that's what, you know, that's what we do. So every day
Right.
they always publish a new paper. They always put out new newscasts. So are we doing our part to get our name out there, our messaging out there, and publicizing our team? So that's the best part about this business. Every day is a new day.
Right.
So if you have a bad day on the news, guess what?
Take it and run with it, and let's begin a whole new day.
Exactly.
Understandable.
Yep.
All right, Chris, thank you so much for
You're
joining
welcome.
us. I really
Thank you.
enjoyed you.
I appreciate
That's it with Mr. Chris Jenkins of the Buffalo Bills, media relations for 9 years.